Hello and welcome everybody. We have the patch notes for NAEU September 11th, 2025. Let's get straight into it. So we have the Edania, the Demon Realm update part 2 with the new main quest. Here also a lovely picture of what is most likely Kaphras himself. So we have the continuation of the Edana's Tales in the Outer Edania with Tenebrum and Sephiroth. For Tenebrum, you need to have completed the Etherion Return quest with no Orbita or Nymphomare quest in progress. And then for Sephiroth, you need to have completed the Orbita Towards Another Tomorrow, Nymphomare's Grim Tidings, and Tenebrum Return. And then finally, you go into the Edania, King of Edana questline after completing the Sephiroth Seize the Throne. There is another tip for the better enjoyment of the main questline. Try the auto skip lines in sync with audio feature at the bottom right of the screen during quests. The story will follow the voiceover without the need for a keyboard input. Then we have another note for the Edania adventure log. They've added a new adventure log for these tales, and you can select a story in the adventure log. You'll be guided straight to its starting point, and to keep the story flowing smoothly, you can't pick up another story until you finish the other. And here again, we have the suggested progress order: Hakinsa Sanctuary, Etherion, Orbita, Nymphomare, Tenebrum, and then Zephyros and Edania. For the second adventure in Outer Edania, you can choose from the following 3 stories. So we have the flavor text for Tenebrum. As Ebonshade falls, the sanctuary tolls its bell. From the depth of Tenebrum, a violent blast erupted. Most scouting parties never returned, no word, no trace, and whispers speak of a black spirit's dark design. Then we have the flavor text for the Sephiroth region. In Sephiroth, where Edania's final throne lies, the scorched earth still bears remnants of the past. Why do fragments of the ancients remain at the world's edge? To Crimson Root we go to uncover the buried truth. And then finally, the flavor text for Edania itself. Having claimed all thrones of Edania, at last I rise, the king of Edana. Now the hidden truth of this world is laid bare, as fate calls me forth, and the pact draws nigh. I'm looking forward to these quests, but let's continue. So we also have explore the areas surrounding Tenebrum and Sephiroth's castle to uncover new pieces of Edana's legacy. These are the boxes that were scattered throughout the other regions so far, and a bit in the Tenebrum and Sephiroth already. Some of these pieces will still give you a primordial fragment and gold bars, and they added 30 new subquests featuring unique stories from Outer Edania as well. Then we have the boss Subjugation itself, so they've added the Tenebrum and Sephiroth castles. The entry condition for the Tenebrum is 390 AP and 450 DP, and for Sephiroth it's a whopping 395 AP with 460 DP. The same note applies. Only adventurers equipped with at least red gear weapons, defense gear, or accessories, excluding artifacts and alchemy stones, can enter, and tamers cannot ride Highlong during the boss subjugations. I will continue calling it Highlong. They've also added the new weekly quest for these boss subjugations with the same signups as Etherion, Nymphomare, and Orbita. You get your token with the Ebonshade chest, 4 pieces of Edana for Tenebrum, 5 Herald's crystals, which we will get to later, 30 crystallized energy of end times, 50 Kaphras essence, 5 of each perfume, and 1 gold bar box and 5 1000G gold bar boxes, and you have a chance for this Silent Crystal, Distorted Crystal, and Flawless Herald's Crystal, respectively. Then for the Sephiroth castle, pretty much everything the same except for 5 pieces of Edana, 7 Herald's crystals instead of 5, 35 energy, crystallized energy of end times, 50 Kaphras essence, and 5 perfume, 5 again, and 1 gold bar box, and again 5 1000G, and the chance at the Silent Crystal, Distorted Crystal, and Flawless Heralds. Existing weekly world boss subjugations, so details are pretty much still available on the old update. If you want to, just jump back to that video from the August 21st patch note read, but most people should know by now. They've also added the AP DP requirements to the quest acceptance conditions for the weekly throne boss fight. The required AP are shown here, so we have Etherion at 350 and 427. Nymphomare at 375 and 440, Orbita at 385 and 445, Tenebrum at 390 and 450, and then finally Zephyros now at 395 and 460. The Throne of Edana fight is pretty much the same as it has been. You obviously need to have the requirements. The Edana's privileges amount to, in Tenebrum, 10 billion silver base pay, with a Marni realm entry skull of 90 million, of which you get 0.25%. And in the case of Zephyros Castle, 15 billion silver payout guaranteed, with 100 million silver for a Marni entry skull, and you get 0.2% of that. On top of that, we have the Crown of the Ebonshade here displayed on a lovely Sork, and the Crown of the Crimson Root here displayed on a Archer, fitting for Caphras. Then we're getting straight into the new monster zones. We have Tenebrum Castle, Karshian's area. So the flavor text for that reads, Karshian and her followers have long sought the ancient power hidden within Tenebrum. After restoring the ancient creature Manticore, Karshian brainwashed it and sealed it in an altar to harness its strength. To free the Manticore, you'll need to overcome the soldiers empowered by the ancient Ator. The recommended AP is 390 with a base starting cap from 1,890, and the recommended DP is at 450 and 760 DP. The main loot here is the Distorted Fragments and Silent Fragments. Same for the Full Crystal, the Han Crystal of Dusky Ruin and its pity piece, the Crystallized Energy of End Times, Herald's Crystals, the Flawless Herald's Crystals, and the Debos again. The trash loot is 147,630 silver, same weight as all other Edania at 0.3 LT. Then we have 4 new titles. Then we go straight into the Zephyros Castle, the Caphras area. So here we get a bit more beefy. Zephyros' castle is the most dangerous area in Edania, corrupted by Caphras' influence. The castle's ruins are awash in lava, making it a perilous place for any adventure. As Caphras' power spread, his followers gathered here using forbidden alchemy to create hatcheries that absorb Caphras' energy and artificially spawn new life. To cleanse Zephyros' castle, you'll need to destroy these hatcheries, but first you must defeat the lava-spewing monsters and the cultists controlling them. This will require 395 AP and 1,980 base stat, and the recommended DP of 460 or 800 total. The main loot is exactly the same as Tenebrum, hopefully with a bit more loot drop chance. Then we also have the trash loot being worth a little less with 126,980 silver at the same weight of 0.3 LT. I do hope the stacks are a bit bigger, otherwise it's a bit backwards, but I highly doubt that would be the case. They've also added the weekly boss subjugation quests, and with this also comes a sad addition to the entire process. So for the Purify Tenebrum and Purify Zephyros, you effectively get the Han Crystal Ruins and Crystallized Energy of End Times, just like the other zones. However, they've also added AP/DP requirements to the quest acceptance conditions for the weekly monster subjugation quests. So if you sadly do not reach the AP/DP requirements for these zones, you will no longer be able to pick up the weeklies. For Aetherion, the required AP is 350 and 427 DP, pretty much matching the boss fight. Purify Nymphomare, same thing, 370, 440. Purify Orbita, 380, 445. Purify Tenebrum 390 and 450, and Purify Zephyros at 395 and 460. This has been definitely posted on the forums. I would suggest even going into the forums and looking for the suggestion countering this. AP requirements I can fully get behind, however, DP requirements feel a bit weird. But hey, voice your opinion on the forums, try to do it respectfully, and hopefully we'll get that changed again. Then we go into the Kabwa's Heralding Artifact, or the Decade's Heralding Artifact for the all damage reduction and all evasion. So the Herald's Crystals drop from the 2 new zones, and you can craft the Flawless Herald's Crystal together from the pity pieces. It is 100 sharps, 100 magical shards, and 200 magical lightstone crystals, with which you can then reform your existing artifacts. In the case of the Kabwas, you will gain an extra 3 AP against monsters per artifact, 5 monster damage reduction, and 250 HP. In the case of the Decade's all damage reduction and all evasion, you will gain an all AP plus 6 and plus 250 max HP. To remove these, you can use the Mirror of Equilibrium as we've come to get used to. And here we just see the stats being added on top of the existing stats. The central market price for the Herald's Crystal and Flawless Herald's Crystals are as following. So the Herald's Crystal itself is at 12.5 mil base price with a max price of 50 mil and a max price of 1.25 bill in the case of the full crystal and up to a max price of 5 bill. Overall, I do think this price is reasonable as a nice little upgrade, but definitely if you can grind these places, do so. Then we also have the Han Crystal of Dusky Ruin dropping, which is effectively the upgrade of the Jinn. It is still only 1 crystal per group. You can have the Han Crystal of Dusky Ruin, again, by using the pity pieces, 100 plus the magical shards, full drop. It will yield a plus 60 AP against Edanian monsters and a plus 20 monster damage reduction. And again, this crystal, just like the others, cannot be registered on the central market. Then we have some other changes. So they've added some railings to the area where you encounter the boss in Teneb Realm. So pretty much we're going to fight Karshin, it seems, on the big platform. That's going to be quite a pain for some classes. I'm actually expecting taller railings to appear here, or it will be a tough fight. Then we also have the lava around Sephiroth's castle getting a bit darker, so overall they've lowered the bloom. This should definitely lessen the load on some PCs, and is definitely appreciated. Then we have class changes on Lan Prime Phantom Dance. They fixed an issue where the Crimson Glaives were displayed during the falling motion. And on Deadeye from Canary with Love, they fixed an awkward animation that occurred when using Marni rounds. Then the big thing for mostly life skillers and a few other people, we have the maximum contribution point limit increase. So they have effectively increased the cap from 500, aka or 501 CP that some people have reached. Overall, they've adjusted the required contribution XP for contribution points above 501. They've increased the required XP to gain an additional CP by approximately 1.6 times for each threshold. So 500 to 525 maintained the same as XP as the previous 500 to 501 range. And then it does the 1.6 times from that range for the 525 to 550. And this continues through all the way to 600, which is now set as the new practical maximum limit. They've also changed the contribution points for adventurers with at least 501 CP during the September 11th maintenance as following. So if you had 501 with 0 to 10, you should be ending up at 505, 10 to 20, 507, 20 to 30, 509, 30 to 40, 511, 40 to 50, 513, 50 to 60, 515, 60 to 70, 517, 70 to 80, 519, 80 to 90, 521, and finally 90 to 100, 523. CP will also increase for every 10% XP gain from 502 CP and above. So, for example, if you had 502 CP from 0 to below 10%, you will end up at 524, and respectively, if you had from 10% below to 20, you get 525 CP. Then we have the update to the Advice of Valks boxes and Enchanted Scrolls. So they've deleted the boxes which previously granted Advice of Valks from certain ranges based on probabilities, and have given a Advice of Valks of the same or higher value. Also, if the maximum obtainable enhancement chance ended in 5 prior to the exchange, they reissued the Advice of Valks and it will be rounded up. So here we have an example of 15 to 25 being rounded up to 30, and then an Enchanted Scroll plus 35 ending up as a 40. They've applied the new rules to boxes, quest rewards, Black Spirit Adventure dice rewards containing affected items, so Advice of Valks is now obtained accordingly. So here we have the 15 to 25 becoming 30, 25 to 35 becoming 40, 35 to 45 becoming 50s, and 40 to 60s going straight up to 60. Also, the Enchanted Scrolls have been removed. These are a straight one-to-one conversion for what they would have given. And they added a new exchange option for the Chilling Fragments via managed currency for the Deboreka Ring. Then we come to some sad news. The Trial of Erethea has been completely removed from the game. All Forgotten or Weakened Limbo seals have been pretty much exchanged to a Forgotten Limbo or Weakened Limbo box, which has its, well, direct drop rate, so they've updated the loot. Here we can see the Eretheas Limbo chest has a Rare Legacy of Erethea ×2, Resplendent Lightstone of Fire, Purified Lightstone, and some gold bars. The Lost Legacy, pretty much the gold bars at a chance. Rare Legacy of Erethea 1, Resplendent Lightstone of Fire, Purified Lightstone, and gold bar. And the Rare Legacy of Erethea, opening up to a Deboreka ring up to Pry. And also Limbo Stars have been converted at 10 million silver each with this maintenance. And the previous Limbo Star rewards have been changed to Gold Bar 100G, now obtainable from Eretheas Limbo Chest and Lost Legacy of Eretheas. Then, on other sad news, we have the Orbita Castle Monster Zone changes. So they've changed the recommended DP and damage reduction stats on Orbita Castle Monster Zones from 450 to 445, or 760 to 740. With this reduction, they've also reduced the attack power of monsters appearing by 20 AP. They've changed the Monster Zone mechanics as following. So they've changed destroying the Grave of Faith when a Titan spawns. The Sacred Grave Wardens of Dawn, Grave Wardens of Dusk, and Gravekeeper Golems do not die automatically. They've also changed that the Sacred Grave Wardens of Dawn and Dusk do not die when you defeat the Gravekeeper Golem. They've improved so that the Wardens of Dawn and Dusk die faster when you successfully pull off the mechanic. Kind of curious what they mean with the mechanic now, because it seems almost all mechanics got removed. They've changed it also that the Titan will not be summoned when Orbita's Grave of Light HP drops below a certain threshold. They've increased the wait time for the Gravekeeper Golem to appear after destroying a Grave of Faith. They've changed so that Grave Wardens are no longer stunned when struck by Sacred Lightning. They've greatly reduced the AP of the Sacred Lightning. They've also changed the reward mechanic after defeating the Titan from 6 times to 12 times. They've increased the summon standby time for each reward mechanic after defeating the Titan by approximately 3 seconds. And they changed the quantity of drop rate of obtainable items after defeating the Titan, so the trash loot went from 260 to 285 to 300 and 320. Jin Crystal Ruins, they've increased the drop rate by around 34%, and Crystallized Energy of the End Times has been increased by approximately 18%. They've also balanced the monsters as following, so they shortened the idle time between the Gravekeeper Golem's summon attack and its next attack. They changed the monster grade of the Gravekeeper Golem to normal, and changed the effective AP limit application rate from 50% to 5%. They reduced the HP of the Gravekeeper Golem by 20%, and changed so that the Gravekeeper Golem dies after 10 minutes in combat. And they reduced the time it takes for the Grave Wardens of Dawn and Dusk to enter standby pose after attacking. Quest and knowledge-wise, they've changed the progression system of the Adventure Log bookshelf. So they've changed it to you must complete all journal entries on the current page of the selected Adventure Log before advancing to the next one. And they changed so the navigation button in the Adventure Log will be hidden if the quest acceptance conditions are not met. They've changed so your character will automatically recover HP or mana during combat cutscenes in the Edania main questline. They've also added the name of each monster zone to the title descriptions for Edania monster zones. For example, Defeat Ethereum Castle Dark Touch Spirits. They've changed the name of the Lava Orb knowledge entry in the Sephiroth Adventure Log to Lava Field Hatchery. They've also changed the location of this knowledge entry. NPC Background and Sound. They've improved the cutscenes that can start near the Edana's Legacy boxes. And they added Patrigio, the Black Merchant market, to the Akinsa Sanctuary. Then we have the all-in-one preset being introduced. This is a little bit of a downplay from the original. So you will be able to store food, elixir, skill, pet groups, artifacts, and crystal presets all together in the menu and then swap with them as needed. However, this will not be happening automatically, so the all-in-one preset is a function that allows you to manage each system's preset together, letting you combine and save food, elixir, skill, pet groups, artifacts, and crystal presets. If there are restrictions on changing presets for each system, such as skill cooldowns, applying the all-in-one preset may fail. In Black Shrine, you can also not change the all-in-one preset during the battle, and the all-in-one preset cannot be used during Red Battlefield currently. It will be added in the future, and a function allowing you to use hotkeys with the all-in-one preset is also scheduled for a future update. So currently, you will pretty much have to open the menu. This is under Menu and Function. They've also improved the Monster Zone UI. They've removed the text for subcategories such as Party Zones and Elvia Realm from the top UI. Now it just has the symbols themselves. They've also added character-specific knowledge category under the Learning the Ropes for the Awakening weapons. This should clean up the general Learning the Ropes knowledge category. And they improved the emoji input UI so that you can now move it with the mouse. Small upgrade, but hey, we take every small victory we get. System-wise, they've improved the navigation for Monster Zone info so that while moving to Orbita Castle, you're now guided near failed Edana. They also updated the background video for the login and server selection screens. And they updated the game's shortcut icon. Web-wise, they fixed an issue where different language was displayed on the official website when CookieBot was exposed instead of the language currently in use. They also added the Black Spirit icon to the Pearl Abyss account quick sign-up page. Then we have some modification and changes, so overall they fixed some issues where ocean navigation did not provide optimal routes. Also, some characters would get stuck in terrain and unable to move when using the world map. Move character feature to travel to Bay or Riverhead. There was also some issues where Alan Servant's landscape effect would be applied when defeating monsters after activating it in Gyfin Razia Underground. Then apparently some issues where monsters would not spawn after defeating Titan has finally been fixed in Orbita. They also supposedly fixed an issue where the Titan would change into a non-combat state and not move. They also fixed an issue where the certain monsters would follow their targets without distance limitations. They've also removed the +2 silver embroidered clothes box following the removal of the silver embroidered clothes. For each box that you owned, a +2 silver embroidered trader's clothes will be provided in Heidel. They improved the illustration cutscene in the Magnus Greatsword Master's quest. They also fixed an issue where 2 Jordines would appear during the cutscene in the Serendia Parade and Heidel quest. Then they had some issues on Dark Knight, where the customized hair would not display correctly during the Orbita Spirit from Memorial quests and another quest. They also fixed an issue where the progress of the Tale of Sangoon appeared incomplete when selecting the Sangoon Crossroad. Berserker, there was an issue with the Shamshir not appearing when opening the Central Market. They also fixed an issue where title effects would not properly be reflected in the applied buffs. And they fixed some issues on the Dine and Mythical Dine not using the sprint during autorun in the desert. They also fixed some issues where the node names would not be displayed in the family character list when moving characters to Edania. They also fixed some issues where moving a character to Shore of Ruins would incorrectly display the region as Markanta Mountains. They also fixed some broken terrain near the Doomstow Pond. Also improved some terrain near Tenebrum Castle. They also fixed the issue where dark-touched root spirits in Aetherion Castle could not be attacked in certain situations. They further changed the icon for the all-consuming heat debuff and the Dead Souls chill debuff. Pretty much the damage buffs from the Edania regions. They fixed an issue where the node investment levels above 10 would be truncated with an ellipsis. Further, they fixed an issue where registering the boss notification menu to the top fixed menu and the menu UI would change it to the events menu. They fixed some issues camera effects not applying during enhancement in the Black Spirit appearances. Fixed an issue where brazier or candle flames in a Keenstar Sanctuary would not be visible in certain situations. Fixed an issue where icons would be displayed awkwardly in the message when acquiring Voltarion. They've also changed awkward appearances on common noble NPCs in Eretheas Entry Post. Optimized the display information above characters' heads. The gamepad UI, there was an issue with the key guide for the fish guide and weekly fishing contest. They also fixed an issue where holding Shift W with Crocodile in Desert did not maintain sprinting. They fixed some issues where attempting to jump after using instant accel with Mythical Dine or Crocodile at sea caused a fall with the message, please try again in a moment. I experienced that. Oh, I'm glad that got fixed. They also fixed an issue where the Crocodile could not combo into the double leap after using instant accel and attempting to jump in the desert. Then more gamepad mode fixes for the wagon mount UI and view details stats button for the harnessed horses. Also for the information on the reward items for the weekly fishing contest. Then there was an issue with Warrior and the appearance of the Sovereign Shield differed in and out of combat. Wukong, they fixed an issue where glasses were displayed when wearing both gold-scale Dragoon helmet and event perfect glasses. They fixed some issues where activating Alan Servant's landscape in Ozekia Monster Zone did not consume points, so this was a bug. This has now been fixed. They also fixed an issue where the message about inaccessible area would appear when selecting Edania in storage by territory, and they changed it so that equipment cannot be changed via quick slot during cutscenes, and they changed the minimap icon for Black Spirit consumed monsters to show as general monsters. Also, they fixed an issue with the territory tier 4 tier of Ancano Coast node did not match during Valencia Nodewar, And finally, they fixed some overlapping text and arrow buttons in the Labyrinth category in the Private Monster Zone menu. Then we're going to go straight into the events. We have the intense 1-hour free-for-all battles. It is the return of the Arsha Leaderboard. This will be happening at the times displayed here. Screenshot these if you want to make a note of them. Pretty much for Friday, it is 21:30 to 22:30 CEST. On Saturday, 17 to 18 CTST. And finally on Sunday, 15 to 16 CEST. The event location is Arsha Anonymous on Navarne Steppe, and only kills and deaths will be recorded if you're affiliated with the Navarne Steppe node, excluding Navarne Springs. And the Arsha Leaderboard solo resets daily, and there are some rules. So pretty much ranking rewards can be claimed up to 3 times. If you play first on both day 1 and 2, you can receive the first place reward twice. Party and platoon features are disabled on Arsha Anonymous during the event. These features will be re-enabled once the event ends. Only battles fought on Arsha Anonymous at the specified time and location will count. Entry requirements have a combined displayed AP DP of at least 700. The higher value between main or awakening weapon is used for the total. Extra effects from the blessings do not count, and permanent AP DP gains from adventure logs are included. Points are rewarded for kills and death as following, so each kill grants a base of 10 points up to a maximum of 5 times from the same player per day, and you can only earn points from the same adventurers up to 5 times per day. Points decrease with each consecutive kill, and the leaderboard updates in real time and refreshes every 15 minutes. So here we can see the points going down, and if you die, it is -4 points. And there are gold bars for meeting the weekend conditions. Play just 1 hour a day and claim the participation ranking rewards. 3 kills in 1 day yields you 5 1000G gold bars. If you're first place, it is 30 1000G gold bars, and second to 30th is 1 to 29 respectively. Then we go into BDOVision 2025. It is time again, so pretty much the submission period is from September 11th to October 9th. The concert date is set to the October 23rd. So in the new region, Edania, a beautiful and rich symphony will unfold with the BDOVision 2025, focusing on Edania. So we have an introduction to the 5 demon lords, Jordine Dukas, Enslar, Rusalka, Karshian, and Kaphras. How to participate? You need to join their Discord server and sign up in the BDOVision sign up. This is required. You then compose your original music piece and upload it to the music album with BDOVision 2025 in the song title. Please make sure that your song is visible, and you upload an audio or video file link of your music in the BDOVision submission channel. This is also required. You can only participate in this concert with your own compositions. The participants will be judged by the following: Pearl Abyss staff and Twitch chat. The Pearl Abyss staff's vote will count 25% of the total score, while the Twitch chat will account for the remaining 75%. There is a note that some submissions might not be played on stream, and pretty much we have the rewards displayed here. For the first place, you get the title Demonzart, Mozart. Or no, Monsart. They did do Monsart. And the Blessing of Old Moon pack 30 days. The top 10 will get the BDOVision title and the Marni Instrument Decor box. And same for participation, a Choose Your Marni Instrument Decor box and Blessing of Old Moon pack 3 days, which includes these Marni Instrument Decor rewards. In the first box, you pretty much get you obtain all 3, and on the other one you choose a single one. Speaking of Marni, we have the Marni's Unstable Fuel support. So 100 Marni's Unstable Fuel for logging in from September 11th to 25th. So logging in during the event, you can claim your 100 Marni's Unstable Fuel. And it also seems to be that a sort of tag event. No, it's pretty much just fuel for tagging. And it does seem to be a one-time thing. Then we have an item drop rate plus 50. So pretty much a plus 50 item drop rate running from now until September 25th. And there's also an XP boost opportunity, make the most of hot time. So pretty much mentioning the complete daily challenge and the mercenary experience scroll. Then we go into a bit more PvP towards Valencia City. Dominate the red battlefield from now until September 25th as well. You have a daily challenge of red battlefield where you collect 25 tokens. or a once per family, collect 100 tokens. You earn 25 tokens for a win and 10 for a loss. This is available daily. The rewards are 200 million silver and 100 mystical spirit powder, and one of the following, which is Perfume of Courage, Deep Sea, and Forest Thread. And once per family for the big event, you get 500 Bronzestones, 30 Forest Thread, and Oil of Immortality. Then there is another PvP event from September 11th to 25th. We have the Fight for the Glory with your guild. This is a Rally Your Guild for Nodewar event, where you meet the minimum participation requirements or claim victory, which will end up with 500 Bronzestones up to 800 million silver. Personal participation and victory rewards during the maintenance will be delivered in your Black Spirit safe. There are some requirements, which are the usual pretty much kill death count up to at least 100, and just in general for the occupation and construction mode. The first distribution is September 18th, the second September 25th. Kills made with mounted on siege weapons do not count towards the kill count, and rewards will be granted even if you participate as a war hero in Node Wars. So here, personal participation rewards: participate one time is 300 million silver, 3 times 500 million. Then we have the guild and alliance participation reward being set at 10 billion, and finally personal victory reward of win one time for 500 Bronzestones. Then losing the PvP a little bit, going into a fashion album event for the Lilien outfit. Pretty much how to participate: flaunt the Lilien outfit, then upload it to the Pearl Shop in the F3 menu fashion albums for rewards, pretty much shown here. You can also check out other adventurers' mesmerizing looks. If you don the Lilien outfit and upload it to the album until September 25th, you pretty much get a Portricio's apparel bag, item collection increase scroll, and secret book of Florin. And if you check out other people's looks and give a like button, you get the event enhancement help kit too. There is a note to add the register a photo. You save the screenshot in photo mode. Categories fashion. This is required. Set the post to public, and once you're set, save to finish registering your post. Then we go into the Pearl Shop update. We have the secret scrolls of pure equilibrium arriving. We also have some updates on the purchase count. So artifact plus 5 coupons, it used to be 6 purchases. This is now 10. Secret Scroll of Pure Equilibrium is available for 25% off for 11,250 pearls. There's 2 purchases within the sales period. There's also a double pack for 50% off for 15,000 pearls. There's a one-time Ultimate Edania pack. That's a lot of outfits for 50% off, except for in Belgium and Netherlands for 3,808 pearls. It has an Ultimate Premium Enhancement box, Rare Advance bundle, and Choose Your Resplendent Journey box. Pretty much Gamble box. We also have a Hexa Premium pack until 25th for 45% off for 6 outfits plus 1 bonus. Turbo Premium pack 40% off for 3 outfits. Then we have some new packs. Thea's Grace packs has arrived. Again, 20% off for 2,000 pearls for 10 Thea's Orbs and Petals and Sweet Honey Wine. Choose Your Own Pet pack has returned, 30% off, which includes the Otter, Welsh Corgi, Ferret, Marmot, Little Lamb, Turtle, and Choppy. Then we also have a return of the Fantastic Young Dragon Surprise, 20% off. This item is also not available in the Belgium and Netherlands because it is an RNG dragon. Then we have the Triple Ghost Feedback finally for 33% off for 3,300 pearls. And with that, we have the update done. I want to say thank you very much for listening. May you have the best of luck, and I'll see you around in BDO.